also Tom, I guess, if you abbreviate it.
Oh, I don't actually think that's true, actually. Okay, cool. Yeah, today we're going to start showing you Empires and Ashes, a new expansion, which is coming out on the 7th of November, I believe.
Don't ask me about dates.
Yeah, okay, the 7th of November. And yeah, so to start, we are going to make a new realm for you, and we're going to choose. Go back, you didn't want that one.
Do we want to do edit?
Seals.
Let's do this one then.
Yeah. So, one of the things we're bringing back in the expansion is the Seals of Power, which is a feature from Age of Wonders 3. Yeah, Seals Victory.
Outstanding.
So in the Seals Victory, if you haven't seen it before, we have a number of locks which are scattered across the world, and as players hold the locks, they get points, and the player who reaches a particular point threshold first will win the game, right? The locks or seals are defended by really powerful, really powerful independent armies, and those independent armies will keep attacking you every so often as long as you're there. So, oh god. So essentially, you have to sit them, you have to guard them against independents, and then the AI will attack you as well. And if you just try and sit in the corner, then you can be safe from the AI. But then the AI will probably have more seals than you, so you need to get lots of seals, defend all of them. And yeah, it's good. It was one of the most popular victory conditions in Age of Wonders 3, and we like it. It's turning out really well. So Thomas is just quickly setting up the world for us. What?
I've given it a good name. It's called Streameo.
Like mayonnaise.
I should actually probably show the trait. So we're picking the realm for the seals, the default one. But because it's funnier, we're going to also put on one of the new realm traits that Michelle made for us. So we're going to use Chaotic Influence, which basically means all the relations between all rulers once they've met starts deteriorating over time. Which creates absolute chaos, and everyone goes to war with everyone, and it's very funny. So we're going to do that because we want to suffer.
And what did you do to the difficulty settings?
The AI difficulty is going to be on brutal, but we're not touching the world threat because we do want to get through it a little bit, and we want to actually auto-resolve some stuff probably. So
okay, cool.
Now, well, there's new options here. Obviously, we have
avians,
obviously, but we're going to make our own instead.
Yep.
So. There's a lot of stuff here to talk about for you, Tom. So I'll give you the mouse and you may go ahead.
Okay, sure. So it used to be that for you guys still is, I guess, that all forms have two traits. You have a body trait and a mind trait, and that was kind of limiting. It also led to a big problem that some traits were much more powerful than other traits, and because using a slot system, there was no way to control that. So like everything had to be the same power, and that's extremely difficult to do, if not impossible, especially because some traits which we wanted, like the adaptation traits, are always going to be weaker than things like, I can ride a unicorn or whatever. So what we've done is we've now put in a traits points system where you have 5 points and you can spend them on traits. You can get 5 1-point traits like this. Or you can get a 3-point trait and a 2-point trait, stuff like that. You know how numbers work, right? 5, you have to add up to 5. So what this advantage of this is the adaptation traits, which were always very underpowered, are now 1 point each, while the mount traits, which were always really powerful, are 3 points. So that means that it makes it much harder, for example, to take Dread Spider mounts, which everybody takes, and then spam a bunch of other traits on top of that. Taking Dread Spider mounts means you can take fewer traits of other values. In other things that people will be happy to know, we've added to these adaptations a little spell. Sorry, I keep thinking this is my screen, but this is the camera. We've added a little spell that lets you make more of that terrain type, so you no longer are locked to following a particular tome path. So Arctic Adaptation has a freeze the land spell. Desert Adaptation has a, I guess, dry the land spell.
Is that what we called it?
Scorch the land.
I was about to say, I thought we were better at naming than that.
And Swan Adaptation has wet the lands.
Flood the land.
Flood. Yes, and then Underground Adaptation doesn't let you make underground, because that would be silly.
Pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, we've got some other little 1-point traits. The extra XP trait doesn't work on heroes. Cold-blooded, which is morale losses or 1 points. Most of the 2-point traits are what they were before. They think we got any new 2-point traits?
Yes, the sharp-eyed is new, I think. I'm fairly certain.
Sharp-eyed is 1 point.
It's
sharp-eyed is 1 point.
I'm fairly certain that's new. I saw.
It is. No, it's new, but it's 1 point. Dutch the land for swamp.
That one's new. And
polders.
If you scroll down a bit,
Muras is the Dutch word for swamp, actually.
Your favorites back in.
thinking.
Yes.
Right,
The
yes.
Gs.
So, yeah, the 3.1s. Yeah. Hideous Stench was something that the goblins had in Age of Wonders 3, and it was the most hilarious. But they always had the problem, it was actually attached to the weakest goblin unit. The goblin irregular had it. So when you're in Age of Wonders 3, it was actually attacked where the weakest unit stands next to the enemy and weakens them. But now you can do it with everybody. So it essentially, all adjacent units who do not stink lose resistance and status resistance, which is extremely good for magic builds and status effect builds. Athletics, which I've been told by our testers is not brokenly overpowered, gives all of your units at least 40 move points. So that means every single unit can move 2 hectares further on the world map and 1 hex further in combat. That is unless they're already fast, of course. Poisonous has been buffed, so that there's a 90% chance of poisoning people, and it gives you immunity to being poisoned yourself. And I think Resilient is a merging of 2 things.
Yeah, we used to have one for status resistance, and we used to have one for the duration. And that, frankly, didn't make sense. You just used. So they both have the same use case, so they're now one trait.
Okay.
of
Aren't
course-
mounts technically less valuable the longer the game goes on? The mounts that you get in game are, well, there's one, there's the birds. But the birds ones, I can't remember what it's called, but the bird one only works on scouts. And the mounts that you get for heroes only work on heroes. These mounts here work on a bunch of your units. And trust me, they are not underpowered. Like almost every broken build we get complained about in Jordan really involves spider mounts. We've now had to nerf spider mounts. I'm very, very sorry.
And we've added bears.
And we have added bears, yeah. After much complaining from various people about why on earth are we adding bears, and the art team is saying because we want to, we have added bears to the game. You can ride bears, but we're not going to because it has been decided for us to start with the default avian form traits.
Yes, so we're going to decide, we're going to start with these. So we're going to have adaptable.
There is a new one because they've got a new tone point trait.
Yeah, they have a new one.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a sec. We have adaptable, so we're gonna get more experience. We have elusive, which gives us some more defense against retaliations and opportunity attacks, which is always nice for skirmishing, which Reavers are quite good at actually.
Yeah.
So that fits. And sharp eyes, so a bit more world map scouting. This is a nice and cheap trait that will help us out a bit, finding important things. And light-footed. This is a new one. This is for the bird people are the only ones that start with this, or at least by default. And lets you move through friendly units in combat.
Yes.
Which lets you really do the combat quite a bit different than usual.
Yeah.
And we're going to play Reavers, so we're going to clog up the front line quite a bit. So,
What is their origin?
speaking of Reavers, behold. I'm going to go rattle on about these a bit. So, the Reavers are new culture. We're going to get into the units when we get into the game. But as for the general gist of them, they are an aggressive culture, quite an industrial culture. They are the polar opposite of industrious in many ways, which is the other, materium-focused culture, in that they are very aggressive. They are very much hit and run. They have a ranged focus. And when it comes to diplomacy, they don't really do that. It doesn't really work that way for them. They instead intimidate people into submission, which they will do through the war spoils mechanic.
Yep.
Which is way too complex for me to explain in the front end, but needless to say, we'll get into that when the game starts. Additionally, to reinforce that, they don't start with a Whispering Stone, they start with -1, so if you get one from another source, you still have one, but normally they don't have one. And they have a nifty little trait that lets them ignore the Imperium penalty from unjustified wars.
Yeah. There's also a thing that normally, you guys probably have figured this out if you played the game enough, but normally when you play a game, the system will create a free city nearby, which has your own culture. Because the Reavers are sort of modeled on conquistadors, which were the invaders of the New World from Spain and Portugal, they don't get that. The idea is that they're turning up on this planet to wreck things and to, kill people and stuff. So that city will not be there. You will not find, friendly Reavers sat around waiting for you. You're only going to find free cities of other races on the map.
Exactly. So, I think we're going to take Fabled Hunters, because more rewards from clearing wonders.
It's the one that they want us to nerf.
Yeah, we're gonna clear some wonders.
We haven't nerfed it yet.
No, I have some plans for it, but we didn't have the time.
Oh right, yeah, you got the Okay.
Yeah, I did actually pass on these. That's probably not in this build yet, though. Either way, but this one I didn't get to touch yet because the work we do on that is a bit more intricate than this.
Sure.
So, but we're gonna use it as is for now because it still works.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get some more resources from clearing wonders.
Does the cannon count as a ranged unit?
Yes, it does. So Reavers uniquely have 2 skirmishers and 2 ranged units. So this is going to be quite valuable for us.
Yep.
And we start with an extra ranged unit, which in our case is highly likely going to be the Mage Lock.
Yep.
Second, we have one of the new traits. We have Reclaimers. This one relates to the item forge. Yes, they will walk 500 miles. That one. I knew you were thinking that. The Reclaimer trait, this one, what it does for you is it unlocks the item forge early. So you have it from the start of the game. Normally, you'd have to first build the first tier of the wizard tower.
It's the 2 tiers, actually.
And that's the first tier you need. So the first tier, and then you need to build the item forge itself. With this trait, you start with that. And additionally, this one gives you a new source of the resource you use for the item forge, which is Binding Essence. Normally, Binding Essence is gained by disenchanting items.
Yeah,
and
destroying
out the Binding Essence.
Yeah.
You destroy them that way. But Reclaimers can get it from clearing infestations, ancient wonders, raising cities, and pillaging provinces.
Yep.
So, perfectly suitable for us.
Yep.
We're going to be very mean birds.
Yes.
And you start with a few resources.
Yep. So the
you
general idea behind the item forge is that, in a totally woke left-wing way, you can recycle the things you do not need anymore, turn them into Binding Essence, and turn them into new items to use to save the world, you see?
So naturally, we're going to not pick the new tome, right? It's quite easy.
We are going to take new
We're going to pick enchantment? No. We're going to pick alchemy. So the new tomes are designed a bit different than what we did for our previous DLC. For Dragon Dawn, we had 2 tomes, and they quite complemented each other quite clearly. For Empires and Ashes, we actually went with a bit of a different approach. There are 4 tomes, and they're all different aspects of Materium, and they accentuate particular playstyles. They do not necessarily accentuate each other. Tome of Alchemy, for example, is entirely focused around status effects.
Yeah.
So it's mitigating negative status effects on your own and putting them on your enemies. This tome, for example, combos amazingly with the Dark Culture. There's a lot of other builds you can do with this.
It does not combo well with the Reaver culture, but we're taking it anyway.
It works just fine.
It doesn't combo well with Reavers. That's all I'm sorry.
Just fine.
Thank you, person moving chair upstairs. Okay, so the main reason I say that, it will work fine. The main problem is that normally when you pick your first tomb, you want to pick a unit which your culture doesn't have, and the unit for the Tome of Alchemy is a high level. Yeah, is a high-level archer called the Afflictor, who essentially shoots a sort of little grenade launcher crossbow thing, which is great and all, but we have like mage locks, which are also a really good range weapon, so we don't really need the Afflictor. What we need is a great big beefy melee unit. So yeah, for example, a gargoyle or something.
But there's still aspects of this we can very much make use of.
Yeah.
The material refinery, quite nice for us, because we're going to go after magic materials a lot.
Yeah.
Then there is the Mysterious Tonic, which is quite a good ability. There's both a hero ability and a unit enchantment for the supports.
Yep.
This is a very good way to get rid of some status effects and keep your people fighting. And we have the Alchemist Lab, which is a very good research bonus early on. So that should help propel us into the research tree a bit. And, uniquely in the Tier 1 tome, a early siege project, which
we start
is
with the
good for
siege
us.
project.
We start with one as well as Reavers,
Yeah.
but an additional one to do more damage.
Okay.
It's quite nice for us.
What is your ruler's
And we're going to make a champion,
Yep.
obviously. Could have made a Wizard King.
Somebody actually asked for a dragon.
I would love to make a dragon, but I'm
Technically speaking,
We
a
need
dragon would
Jokerized.
actually work quite well because you have a frontline blob to absorb.
I know. I want to make a dragon.
Okay, let's.
But we gotta show the
we gotta
birds.
make birds. Sorry.
We gotta show the birds. Also, this is an interesting kimono he's got going here. What is that? Oh, is that a
don't know.
cloak? It's the cape. Ah.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
It's thin, eh?
That's kind of cool.
Note that you can change different beaks.
No, you can't.
Yes, you
Really not.
can.
This is the only one.
Head. Click on head.
I'm joking. Where is it?
Head.
Head. It's just the head option. There we go.
Yeah. Also, these guys, along with a couple of others, you can actually change the head of the army as well. So, for example, if you want to take one, say like this guy, that one,
I like this one.
the Skeksis head.
Yeah.
Then you can also give the Skeksis head to all of your units as well.
Where's the heads?
Yes,
There we go. Probably zoom in a bit here. There you go.
we can't. Can we zoom in? I don't know if we can.
This is a function we need to add. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. I think that is.
I thought it was the one you just had. Yeah, that one.
That's the bigger one.
That's the one. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna get to the details here. So, Mohawk, we can make something fluffy here. Let's see. People will pause this anyway. I kind of like that, but let's make it a bit more fluffy. That's very fluffy. Let's do
Good,
that.
I like that. Yeah.
Then for the outfit, we need something nice. So the for the Reaver clothing, I am not an artist, so I cannot quite vouch for this, but I think they did quite a nice bit of layering here, where a lot of the outfits are actually very much underclothes.
Yeah.
That you can put the cloak over, and the cloak really accentuates it quite well. So.
If you done with the physique of like
This
thin
is
as
the-
possible,
this is
as
what it
long
gave
as
us.
arms.
This
like,
is what it
on
gave us.
earth
I'm
is
gonna
it
make him
done?
thick. Give me a second.
You got tiny little legs, enormous arms, and really thin. Okay, like a
There we
normal-
go. We're gonna make him tall. Yeah, much better.
Okay,
Let's make him very thick too, actually.
Okay, good.
Big bird. Yeah. It's a bit poofy, you know?
Yeah.
It's got to show off. All right. Then eye color. It's nice going there.
Yeah.
Make sure it's nice and predatory looking.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
True evil. Can we do the feather colors? We can, right? Yeah.
That's the skin color, isn't it?
Yeah, skin color. There we go.
Ooh. I still think we should go for green. That's it. Green.
The
Make
green.
him green and call him Orville.
Fine.
Okay. When I grew up, there was a TV show. And on that TV show, it's a long time ago, and very few people will remember this. There was a guy, and he had like a little pet bird called Orville, and Orville wanted to learn to fly. So this is Orville all grown up, and we're going to teach him how to fly. We have to take the order path to him, so we make him an angel.
Denied. Order is disgusting. We do not do that here.
Demonize?
Okay, demon's acceptable. Demon wings we can do. We could actually mix it with order. It would be very interesting. Let's make sure these have the similar colors. I make them all red parrots.
Yeah.
Where's my green?
Yeah. So I think that
green.
we've added the head selector to some other forms. Originally, it was in the. Let me think about this for a second. It was always in the lizards, I think.
The lizards had it, yes.
And it's now in the birds. We've added it for a few others. I think we've added it to the cat people and the mole people and the frog people. We didn't add it to the actual human people because that doesn't make much sense. But for the others, when it looks a bit more like a species, we did add it.
Should I play green for once? I never play green.
Green and blue is an awful combination. I don't know.
That's exactly why. Oh, and I'm not keeping the blue.
Okay.
You know what? Let's just do a classic red. A nice conquistador color.
Yellow.
Yellow?
I like yellow, but
Okay, fine.
it looks more imperial.
It looks too goody two shoes to me. Let's see. We have some new ones here, I think. There we go. There's some new ones.
I don't think you can. Someone's asking if we can make them look properly like Skeksis.
You can.
You can
but
make
also
your
we take
leader
some
look a bit
time.
like a Skeksis by just basically putting an enormous cloak on him. I think if you were to take some of like the barbarian cloaks, there's a barbarian cloak which would make him look very like that. But I don't think you'd be able to get that on your normal unit.
I like it when they're armored, so I'm gonna pick one of the horses because I like the armor.
Can we? Is there not a baby bear?
Yeah, but I want armor. Look at that.
I want bears.
But the bears don't have armor.
You don't have armor.
I mean, that's true. Listen. If Paradox wants to sponsor me getting a suit of armor, I'm doing it.
Okay,
I would
cool.
pay for that. All right.
There's a new thing. AI personality.
Oh yes,
Check
this
it.
is actually important.
Check it. Okay, so this doesn't actually do anything. Because we will be in control of this. But what this lets you do essentially is set the personality that the AI will use if the AI decides to use this character for you. So the personality, believe it or not, is actually linked to some affinities. I don't actually know if we show the affinities here.
It's implied affinity.
It's implied
it's in the
affinity.
direction they will go
So
in.
I think, for example, Militant Warlord is actually it might just be pure chaos. So if you choose Militant Warlord, the character will go full chaos. I think. Wait a minute. No, go back. There's one. We added a personality for the Reavers. If you go back,
Did you add one
it's
for
called,
Reaver?
Economic Warlord or something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Economic Warlord. Because what this does is it focuses the AI into expansion and war, but because it's the Warlord thing, it'll force them to go into war with nearby free cities.
Done.
Okay.
We shall call
It
him.
will also make it choose the Materium Chaos terms.
We shall call
Going on
him.
silent. Everybody's
How do you spell rock? Is rock spell? Is
Rock.
like the rock
R-O-C-K.
okay? No, the rock as in the bird. The big
Oh
bird.
right, yeah, R-O-K.
This is okay, right? Yeah. And we shall call him the big birds.
Okay. Okay.
The big birds. And we shall call him first nested
First nested or
Orival rock.
Yes. Oh no, he's right. This is a C, not K. K is actually the Dutch word for skirt. I got confused. Sorry. Thank you, Matthias. 1913, 14.
And now we're all cursed.
Yep. Sorry, my bad.
It's
I
okay.
wasn't
He's
really
a
paying
rock.
attention. I was using my phone because I'm a terrible modern person.
I'll pick the Earth tomes just to mess with people now.
Okay.
Well, Here's our starting setup. We all know this, so let's just get it.
The spells. Look at the spells. Start.
Yes,
Spells.
so we start with the 2 abilities, as we always do.
Yep.
In this case, we got one from the Reaver culture,
Yep.
the suppressing barrage.
This spell was so broken when we first put it in. So what it was an AoE, which did a 90% chance to immobilize. And like at the end of the game, people were still using the spell because it just completely blew the AI up, because it would come forward in a big group, and then you just drop immobilize in it and lock down half of them. And yeah, it's been nerfed now.
It's so
Great.
green.
It's good. Okay, and then the Afflicting Miasma, we'll see that in combat. Essentially, it puts like a magical green cloud down. And when you're in the cloud, you get weakened, I believe, but...
It is very fancy. So
Yeah.
it does weaken the need if you're in it.
Yes.
And then if you take damage, or if you damage the units in it, they get an extra status effect based on the damage dealt to them. So if you deal physical damage to them, so you shoot a bow at them, they get bleeding. If you shoot fire at them, they get burning. If you shoot poison, blight at them, they get poisoned, etc., etc.
Yes.
They're all fairly similar effects, so they're all usually damage related.
Yeah.
But the weakened effect, hence why it's really good with the
It works really well with, what's mechanics? Mystics.
Mystics. It works well with Mystics. It works really well with the Dark Culture as well, because of their weakened.
Yeah, but Mystics have, the cosmic damage thing.
Oh yeah, right.
You know, when you cast a spell, they do extra damage on extra channels. So yeah,
I forgot the name of it for a second.
Rage completely out of control. So cool.
So here's our little scout. We have a little balloon. This is the observer.
The only unit in the game without an attack.
Yes, it has no attack.
Yeah.
It has no attack. It cannot win a combat. If it gets
No.
attacked, it dies. However, it can inflict mark at an extreme range.
I think it self-destructs even, doesn't
It
it?
self-destructs, yes. But it can inflict mark at an extreme range, so sometimes you want to bring it in. However, it is a flying scout at turn 1, which is quite nice. So we're going to use it to try and find a free city. There is an infestation below us, so we're going to...
That might be a nice place to have a nice little fight if we don't find anything.
Exactly. So we're going to first scout a bit. Ooh.
Temple of Wonder.
Yeah. That's a wonder. Nice.
Okay.
And we got to rename this. We got to rename this...
Sesame Street. Sorry.
What? Sesame Street works too. All right, so let's get this going. We're gonna get some. What are we gonna get? We need some money, probably. Actually, production first. We're gonna lack that.
Oh, we should make a new unit.
We should make an extra unit.
We need anything melee. What weapon did you choose for the hero? I didn't actually look.
Oh right, I didn't even check. I just picked the default. I picked the default.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we are for the Reavers. They have some different options. The default option is a skirmisher loadout, actually. So you start with the sword and pistol, which is, well, as you might think, a sword and a pistol.
Yeah, makes you a skirmisher.
It makes you a skirmisher. You can melee, you can shoot. All mage locks have this little effect, which they ignore 50% of the defense. Note that means that it doesn't really do as much as just minus defense sometimes. But if someone has like 12 defense, it's really powerful.
What are the culture unique buildings? Oh, by the way, you show people the spellbook without actually talking about it, because we're like clicking everything at random. We've made a new spellbook. It doesn't actually do anything different, but it looks much nicer than the old spellbook. It makes you feel much more like a wizard sat in his tower, giving commands.
Yes, and the prepared spells show up here, which looks quite nice as well.
Okay, so somebody's asking, can we have a look at the unique Reaver thing? Reaver unique building. In the,
the unique building.
TQ.
Oh boy, give me a second. Can we get there yet? That's the steel hall, which doesn't really tell us that much yet.
The Mana Forge?
The Manufactorum is new.
The Mana Forge.
Is Mana Forge new? Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, they have a few of these.
But the Mana Forge is the new one. So the way we normally design these is that it's kind of weird, actually. I was talking to someone. What we do is we'll pick one resource which the race isn't very good at, and then we take the building that makes that resource and say that it makes something else instead. So because Reavers aren't particularly magical, they lose some mana in return for whatever it was that the Mana Forge did.
I think unit production. No, production. Just general production.
Yeah. And they get Lodestone Foundry. It leads to
So
it's linked in, linked in the tooltip from the Mana
Oh,
Forge.
of course. There you go. I read very well.
Okay.
Let's see here. So we're gonna try and pick some easy fights. So first, some money.
Oh, and I think that we should make another melee unit for our guys.
We definitely should. Yes. I'm gonna alter these for now. We're only making mercenary.
All right. Okay. Cool.
We need to get some production somewhere. That is production. There we go. We're gonna get down there then.
Okay. Oh, but should we make a weapon?
I don't think we can make anything particularly fancy at the moment.
All right.
But we can look at the item forge. So, behold the item forge.
Yeah.
As you can see in this interface, the magic materials are listed at the top. We have none at the moment. Magic materials is what unlocks the options for what you can put on weapons. If you want to put a flaming strike on the weapon, you need to make sure you have the Fireforge stones to actually spark those flames. We have nothing, so we have only the very basic options.
We should have something. Let's make a new sword and pistol.
Sure, I don't think we have that many options at the moment, but we cannot change the damage channel yet because we don't have the option for that yet. Normally there's some ability.
We can provoke.
Taunted. I don't think we want that for this weapon. No. And we have these options. So you have 5 points for these. That is basically the limit for how much stuff can go on it. The tier is determined on how many points you spend on it. So 1 and 2 is tier 1, and then it goes up, etc., etc. The damage is indeed determined by its tier. So the more stuff is on it, the more damage it will do.
There is. Oh, by the way, if somebody's asking, there is actually a rifle. Like we could have a look at it here.
Oh yeah,
we could have just taken a rifle, but we forgot.
Where did I put it? There we put it.
So yeah, there is a rifle, and
we're not
40 damage, full action. The other thing is you maybe take a secondary thing, I guess.
I mean, we can make that. So we can. Let's see. I don't think we should make one of these yet. We want to make one later. But we need some more resources. And as for defensive items, I'm not sure if we have many options.
Windshield.
Should we make one?
Yeah.
Sure. Shield. Making a cheap one. So we don't have that many resources. We have 200, as you can see up here. We're going to just make a tier 1 wind ring. And we should call it Tome's
Windy Ring.
I was going to do that.
What?
I was exactly going to do that. Oh my god. It's a Swedish keyboard. I cannot do fancy hyphen things. It's awful. Thomas Windy Ring. All right, there we go. Should call it the wind tunnel, actually.
Okay.
That'd been funny. Anyway, 2 turns. So the timer, I think, is just based on how many points is it. So right now it's just 2 turns. It's not that expensive to make. You can see here. And it will appear in our arsenal when it's done.
Cool. Is it on simultaneous turns mode?
Don't think so. I didn't change it at least. So it's on whatever the default is. We talk over everything. We don't ever know. I'm just going to skim through the turns real quick. So the Temple of the Tome, we're going to check this out in the future because it's a silver landmark.
How about the Free City? The enemy has been sighted.
Rot Stake.
What is it
for the first time.
Rot Stake.
Yeah. Neutral Rot Stake.
Rot Stake. Okay, good.
All right, well, they're evil. They're crocodile corsairs. I think that's false advertising. That is clearly a chameleon.
What are they, barbarians?
Yes, they are. As you can see by the big flame down there. This UI got updated as well, as you might notice. So we now have, well, as we are Reavers, we have this Intimidate option, which is new. But aside from that, there's now Cooperation, where the trade shows up, and also where you can do War Coordination, which is a new system.
Yeah.
If you have allies, you can, and you are at war with the same enemy, you can coordinate them. So you pay some, I think it pays some...
you can pay the thing. So what normally happens is, in the game that you're playing, it's a bit screwed, actually. The vassals automatically make armies, and those armies go and attack people they're at war at, but we kind of forgot about this. So the rate at which they make the armies is dependent on the world settings as if they were independent. So obviously the harder the world, the more often they send things out. Obviously that doesn't make any sense if you control it, but yeah, we kind of forgot, and that's how it worked. And then those armies would just randomly go and attack their enemies, which isn't very useful. So now what happens is that you yourself can actually say, I want the next armies that you make to attack this enemy. You can also say, I want them to attack this infestation, or I want them to guard this city. And the next time it makes an army, that army will go to where you say. You can use the Rally of the Lieges to add units to the next army they make. So you can say, oh, I think they do much better with a troll. You can like buy a troll via Rally of the Lieges, and it'll join the army and like boot her off with them over there.
So where's the Lieges screen?
Oh, right, it's not locked because we don't have
locked yet. I was like, I can see it. Look at it real quick. We have no friends.
Yeah, so that's how that works.
I swear we didn't script this, but my scout just ran into a seal. So
oh, cool, handy.
Perfect.
What's it guarded by? Are they sunk into the floor? What is that?
What is that? Oh no!
It's a broken progenitor golem. Is it broken?
How did it happen?
Okay, it's time to fix it. Okay.
We're gonna look at the cool thing instead. Ah, look at that. That's cool.
So this is
cool.
Well, you can't just like click through them. Let people have a look at them.
They'll dissect it anyway. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's a quick. How do we obtain that? Okay, so People are asking what do you need to use to make items. Items are made using something called binding essence.
Binding
You
essence,
can only get binding essence normally by destroying other items that you find, and that's all you need to make an item. You only need binding essence. We are using a a society trait that means that we can also get binding essence by raising enemy cities, clearing ancient wonders, and destroying infestations.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
The magic materials unlock options. So if you found, like, for example, what did you say, Fireforged stones, that means you can put fire damage on a sword. Because we don't have anything, we can make things, but the stuff we can make is like really basic.
Yeah.
So, like, we've made my windy ring. We could put like a weapon with more critical damage in it and stuff like that. But
So you can disenchant items. Well, we don't have that many options because we have only the things we are carrying right now.
Yep.
But you can disenchant them. That's how you get the resource normally.
Yeah. You can't, unfortunately, forge horses, which would have been pretty. But you can take your horse apart and turn it into a sword if you like.
We can disenchant the horse. We should. I mean, I like making foot heroes, but unfortunately, skirmishers really benefit from being on a horse. Who knew?
Who knew? Okay, so are we gonna? Is it just those two guys in the?
I think so. Yeah, it's a very small defense. Nah, we can go fight the Free City.
Good
Don't
idea.
provoke them.
Let's bonk them. Have we
We need to
declared
do
war
that
already?
anyway. No, not yet. Hey, a ring of concealment. Look at that.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the assassin's dagger?
That's
useful. Actually.
I'm sorry, I'm so used to clicking through those. I should not do that.
Okay,
Assassin's Dagger is
we
quite
want
useful.
that. We definitely want that.
Yeah, because that gives us a melee option.
And then you zap the ring.
And the ring, indeed, is a ring of concealment. We're not going to use that. We're going to
Zap it.
disenchant it.
Zap it.
For 80. Boop.
Get a lot.
And now we have quite a few more resources.
Got loads. We really need to find some magic materials. If you have gone through the Pantheon, there is actually a trait that gives you more magic materials unless you start with a magic material, which works really well.
Yeah,
Do you know what it's called? The collector.
Talented Collectors.
Talented collectors, yeah. That works very well.
How
How long ago did this start? We started half an hour ago.
Yes. We're going to take Mark Target. So this is one of the Reaver's hero skills. They benefit a lot from targets being marked, and this is a free way to get a little marked on the enemy. They benefit through this, in case you hadn't seen it yet, which is they gain extra damage against the target for every stack of mark they have, and marked itself makes the target easier to hit, which is obviously quite good for ranged attacks.
Yes.
So we're going to take that first.
Sword and pistol is indeed the first weapon that makes a hero skirmisher in the sense that it gives you a reliable ranged attack and melee attack, yes. Isn't it? You would be indeed. Yeah, there is an issue that if you do this, you are going to have to spend your points on two things. You have to spend them on the melee upgrades and the damage upgrades. So, or you can just do what I do and just not bother with the damage upgrades. Use better weapons to get better damage, and then just put your points into like passives, like poison damage and stuff like that. Hello.
Hello, Carissa. She already doesn't like us, and the chaotic influence hasn't even started ticking yet.
Oh, yeah.
So.
When does that start? Oh, it starts when we meet.
Right now is when it starts.
So are we gonna? You gotta head to the enemy city.
Yeah, we're gonna go down there. I've just researched the Mysterious Tonic, which is
Excellent.
quite nice. And we're gonna... So anti-magic thing is just quite nice because it is a AoE dispel, which is very useful.
They're barbarians.
Yeah, they are.
They use much? I get.
No, they don't have that many. No, especially not in the early game. When you're early game...
They have the strength and the regeneration from their healer.
It's true, but I think it's only for
Yeah,
targets.
I don't think it's worth looking.
Let me double check. Yeah, it's friendly units only.
It's remove
Yeah.
status effects.
Otherwise, it would be way too powerful.
Yeah.
But it's not the intent.
Fumigation, do it.
Yeah, we're gonna get the gas. We're gonna do war crimes on the first stream. Let's go.
Okay.
And we're gonna update this, expand a bit. So let's get a mine early. Let's get some money and some production.
You keep making units, yeah.
Actually, let's make some Harriers.
Good. Yeah.
So Harriers, we haven't talked about units at all. So Harriers are skirmishers. They're tier 1 skirmishers. Their special thing is they have a net ability. This is their ranged attack. It can immobilize enemies, which is quite good. It immobilizes marks. And the reason that the immobilize is quite good is, well, first of all, you have lots of ranged units, which tend to shoot things well if they don't get to them. But secondly, we have the Overseer, which is their support unit, has a particularly unique ability. It has Subdue. It can target an immobilized, frozen, or stunned unit and inflict Subdued on them. I'll have you know, by the way, this tooltip is updated. This is the older build, which doesn't have the night.
I was going to say, yeah. Well,
this reads a lot better now. I've fixed this.
it's not just that. There's a 90% success chance. It's not.
Yeah, it's 90% chance that it applies.
It's not good.
This has been fixed. All the build.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Sure.
But the subdue effect basically keeps them stuck there as long as this unit lives. They basically are tied to them. They are intimidating them, keeping them down. If you win the combat and both units are still alive, you capture them, which is a new mechanic that you added, in fact.
Yes.
And when they're captured, you can spend resources to make them permanently yours, which in the Reaver's case uses war spoils.
Yes.
There's other ways to do this, like mind control, I think, does it right now.
Yeah, only mind control.
Only mind control does it right now, and we have some plans for making this.
Yeah.
work
So
for
apologies. I promised somebody or several people. I promised several people on the forum that we would do a pass on the Souls tomes. Why can I never remember?
I did say this morning that you pronounce it tombs.
Anyway, we did a part. I promised that we would do a pass on the Souls tomes, and we didn't. We ran out of time. I'm sorry. We are actually doing it right now. I did the first task for it yesterday, but it's not going to be for this patch, I'm afraid. Because then we also wanted to make it so that you could kill people and bring them back as skeletons straight after the battle, which would be great. Like in Heroes of Might and Magic does that. But we didn't have time for it. But if you get, I think nymphs can do it. The Lightbringer, that flying fish thing.
The flying fish, the one over here, actually.
Yeah, that guy can do it, I think. And you can tell, because if you look at Convert, yeah, it applies Dominated. So Dominated is a special version of Mind Control, which lets you keep the unit at the end. Considering that it's Soul Tomes, pronouncing it Tombs isn't entirely... Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, no, there's a good point.
Don't encourage him.
Okay, good for movement.
We're just gonna scout a bit. I'm gonna put this one on auto scout.
Things are happening.
I think that's Carissa over there. Oh, that's Carissa herself.
Okay, yeah, I don't think our scout can win.
I mean, no, it can't. It cannot do any damage. I also don't think a regular scout can win that.
No. Okay.
It's just lodestone.
Mana production is good. You turned on the mysterious tonic, right? Oh no.
Yeah, we were casting it. Okay, yeah. It's funny because we have only one support unit, so it just shows all of them.
Yeah.
But this gives them a new ability, which lets them, in touch range, remove two negative status effect and give 2 positive effects.
Yeah.
This can be quite clutch if a unit is stunned or whatever else is affecting them.
Yep. Note that the enemy doesn't actually, your unit doesn't actually have to have a negative state effect. You can just give them positive status effects if you want. So.
Yeah. Then goes on cooldown.
So, we're going to invade these guys.
Yes, as soon as we have enough movement for it. We're probably going to regret it because we are early game attacking them. Actually, they're based on world difficulty, which we didn't up.
Yeah, it's not only that, but we have an absolute so much money. Keep making units. More units. We have so much money, and we
not for much longer. We won't.
Yeah, but we can buy the thingy.
Speaking
of
money,
words. Siege project.
Yes, the cannons. So speaking of lots of money, it's worth noting mercenaries, which is their other tier 1 unit.
Yep.
Quite powerful for their tier. They are very pushed. They have very good stats. They're very strong. They have a very powerful ability to drive people back. But they are quite expensive. They are mercenaries and they ask for more money than the rest does, making them basically a tier 1.5 unit.
Why is it 10?
Because it's 8 plus 2. Makes it
tier
10.
Ones are 4, aren't they?
No, they're 8. Ta-da! Today, Tom had a revelation. But they are quite powerful units. They are in the front line. They're going to get killed. But the drive back lets them push a target and then take their place.
Yeah.
It's a really good way to get people clumped up for AoEs, get them out of position, move them out of an aura that they're benefiting from, or in general just getting a charge in there to get a single hit in when you don't have enough actions.
Somebody's saying, is it possible to earn Binding Essence with a passive income? I don't think it is.
No, there's no passive income
it's
for
just
it.
the UI, just being the UI. I'm afraid that is not necessary.
We're going to declare war on the rot stake.
Okay. Oh, cool. So if we get this, if we take this place over, we're going to get this magic material, and that means we can make a new sword with the haste berries.
We can't really see.
I don't think it tells you what it gives you.
It does actually tell us the vague
ability, invasions, and extra actions. Okay.
Exactly. So each material has a vague theme of what sort of effects it gives you. Mm-hmm. There's also rewards for getting multiple of the same.
Yeah.
There is for example, there are some, they're rarer, there's not as many of them, but there are some effects that are hey, if you have 3 Archon blood, there is a lifesteal blood that kills them and instantly revives them as a zombie or whatever. I'm fairly certain that's one of the ones.
Right. We should get a move on because we've got 20 minutes and we haven't even started the siege yet.
It's fine, don't worry about it. We'll be good. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I saw a bear. And a cannon. How did she get a cannon? Where did she get that?
Uh-oh.
I suspect
trait?
foul play.
A trait.
We'll have to see. I
think it's
suspect
gonna be a
foul
trait.
play.
I think it's a trait.
Well, there's some bears.
I don't think that was supposed to happen, but I think it's a trait. Go select
gonna-
her. What traits does she have?
Can we see?
Why don't you just select any one of her units and look at her race?
Oh, we can see that as well.
Barbarian,
she
resistance,
doesn't start with any.
ferocious.
No, she doesn't start with any. We're gonna just retrade it from somewhere.
Foul play. Okay, go, go, go.
Oh. We can't select them yet. Next turn. It's worth noting we have on our end we do not have the audio from the game sadly because we are streaming. So it's all very strange spacing for us. A man lies before you, raw and agony reflected on his face. Please
Death.
don't do anything. Please don't kill me.
Death.
It's a spy.
Death.
Is he just gonna hang him? Why not? Let's hang him.
We've got a reputation to maintain. Right, charge. Start siege. Okay, cannons.
So
Have we got fumigation?
I don't think that's done yet.
It is, right?
Oh, it literally is just done. Perfect. So
I'm Reaver. Let's go.
as Reavers, we have 3 siege project slots because you get an extra one from the start, which is quite nice. Because they are enticed to go to war early.
Sure.
In addition, Reavers have a unique siege project that they use.
God.
They have the siege guns. This basically is it replaces their construct catapults. It's very similar. It's I think a little cheaper. And instead of placing catapults, it of course places Magelox cannons, which are nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna do that because
And-
it's fun.
Got them.
And we're gonna use fumigation, which we just got from the Tome,
Excellent.
because it's funny.
Okay.
Can we make this go even faster?
Are
Let's
you
see.
sure we get an extra siege slot? I think we might have turned it
Yeah,
off
you do.
because it was
You
too
do.
much. Are you sure?
I'm fairly certain you do. Unless I removed
Try
it
it.
and I forgot.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's there. I can use it.
yeah, okay,
That's
cool.
not a problem. It's just.
I think
But
we need another one. This is.
we can get this down to 1 turn if we do that. Oh no, not barely.
Headline assault will damage us. Yeah.
It's not worth doing. So we're gonna leave the other ones for now.
Yeah, it's not necessary. It's like massive overkill. Okay.
And we're gonna send in all the reinforcements that we can get here.
Yeah, people are asking. Yeah, the idea is that we will, and it won't be next week. I'm afraid. I think it's 2 weeks. We're going to do next stream, but we are going to continue this match so that you can see later parts of the game.
Yes, because we're gonna definitely have to conquer Carissa. I was gonna say, some.
No, don't say
murdering,
that.
sort of thing.
Don't lower the tone. Designate target. Yes.
So this is very good. We're definitely gonna take that from the Reaver research.
5 or 6.
And then we're not evil.
No, well,
All good.
Okay.
Let's get this done.
Oh, is that +1 from the nuke path, or is it +1 on top of the meaning? He's asking if you could have 5 in total if you take all of the upgrades that give +1 siege project.
I think so. Yes, I'm fairly certain you can. You can get them quite high. You probably won't really need that much, but you could do it. Let's go to the underground. Oh.
Did we change anything?
See, I swear we didn't script this, but behold,
The support is that another?
that's
steel?
the new ancient wonder.
Oh, cool.
We should have planned this clearly.
Yeah.
So this is a new ancient wonder. I actually have never gotten to fight these yet.
No,
I
I've never been
haven't
in
gone
there
to test that far. But the map looks absolutely kick-ass, and that seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gold wonder.
interesting.
Yep.
You can crack the vault. I wonder how that works.
I think it's a spell which gives you a big pile of resources. So there will be a 2 story maps coming with the expansion when it's released, which is telling the story. Am I allowed to say this? I guess I am. Edward and Larissa will be coming back. We already told that in the dev story, didn't we? So we can say that. So yeah, it will tell the story of
I
the.
remember.
Yeah, it did. It'll tell the story of Edward and Larissa. Edward's gone a bit bonkers. He's gone a little bit off the edge, and you have to stop him.
She doesn't like us. Look, it's already coming. It's going.
It's okay. I don't like us either. It'll be fine.
That's painful, man.
Come on, Orville.
Wow.
Hi, Orville.
Wait a sec. We need our last boy in
Okay,
here.
cool. Do it.
We gotta make sure we murder these people.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
It'll be fine. We're going into battle with rot stake. They actually have rot stakes as a wall. Behold.
Yeah.
Outstanding. There goes the poison.
Okay, yeah.
So they get some extra damage, and poison actually got changed, didn't it? It
stacks now.
It stacks now, yes.
Did we make a bunch of things stacked? I can't remember what was done in
Bleed
the
also, right?
Yeah, right. So poison stacks, I think up to 5 times because I did it, and you can do 20 damage a turn. It's break.
They
it's broken.
instantly used all the supports to heal as many of them as I could. So I don't
Okay.
think it's
What else? There's poison stacks, bleeding stacks, I think.
bleeding probably stacks, yes.
Yeah. And regeneration stacks. I don't know if that already did.
Let's see.
Regeneration stacks if it didn't already stack with you guys.
Yeah, regeneration always stacked. Yes, correct. We're gonna get the Harriers in position.
Yeah.
Those boys behind them.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, because there's.
All right. So we want to let's try and capture somebody.
We'll get to that in a minute. So we're gonna just set up a bit. So mage locks, we haven't showed these yet. Mage locks have an attack that is 3 action points. They're quite powerful, but they need a setup. They need to be kept safe and in a good position. So, and they also have quite long range, if I remember. Yeah,
5.
it's a bit longer than usual. So we're gonna make sure that they are set up to deal some good damage.
Yeah.
So,
Typically, you want to put something in front of them. It's
Exactly.
quite important.
so here is the plan, because like this, they cannot get past.
Yeah.
Then we are gonna get our supports in. The Overseers, their regular attack is a marking blast. It is an attack that cannot miss. It does really low damage, especially for the support, even for the support attack.
Yeah.
But it inflicts blind and marked, so it's a nice steady source of inflicting marked if you need to. And then lastly, they have a really strong heal, which is melee range.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you get close.
Tried to mute my phone. Okay.
Such a professional. We're gonna move forward with Orival, and I think Orival is gonna give them a little shot.
Range.
Yeah, but he's a skirmisher, and we don't
Is it
mind.
okay?
Sorry? That's the assassinate.
Oh, of course, right. Yeah.
So we're gonna mark them, because we can,
It's free, right?
because it is free, exactly. And then we're gonna give them a shot. Well,
Okay.
we have a very unupgraded gun and very untrained heroes. It's not gonna be as good as we would want it to be.
We should have
And-
actually marked him before shooting him. But
I forgot this one also had the marked.
Okay.
So we're gonna take some aim on them, and then we are ready to go. Oh, wait a second. Could we? Oh no, I put him in defense mode already. Shame. Shame on me.
Hey, it's fun.
The next turn, we're gonna fire the cannon at them, because they're gonna probably line up nicely here.
Hope so. Yeah, they're coming out.
Well,
They have poisonous. The
Yeah, they have
lizard men.
poisonous.
Lizard men have poisonous by default. So yeah.
That's why there was no poison on them.
Yep. Oh right, yeah, because they're immune.
That's why it didn't take on them. They did take the damage, but they didn't get the poison
damage
status
with it.
effect.
Yep. Good point.
We should have seen that.
Yeah.
And we have some archers.
You have
up
been
here.
counted.
Just some furies. Look so cool as crocodiles. Look at that. Crocodile furies. And applying poison to me. We're getting
Well done, boys. And...
We're getting Uno reversed. I don't like it.
Okay, right. So net
Actually, just show those stacking real quick. So here you go.
Yep.
Ta-da. Now
Net 'em.
All right. So, but the cannon.
Well, yeah, we'll net someone.
We got a cannon.
Yeah,
them.
do that. Yeah, that's fine.
But
You're
first-
allowed.
Okay, let's net this one.
No, because you don't want if you're gonna shoot him, then you don't want to like subdue him. Shoot these guys. Kill them.
Let's fire the cannon. Boom. I love it. Just rolls through them.
Oh, you got 2. This is so overpowered. You go.
Sadly, I don't think we can get a nice angle where we hit multiple. Oh. No one saw that.
It's a 3 hit, right? Yeah, you hit that guy, I guess.
Let's just get that one. Even though we're gonna subdue him. Yeah, just... I love that it like. So to be clear in how it hits a line. In case you didn't notice from the effect, but it hits a 3-hex line behind the target, so you can shoot through a wall with it,
Yep.
which is quite nice. We are gonna try and capture someone. That's even though it's not particularly optimal, we're gonna try and capture these warriors.
Can I capture that guy? Yeah, I guess. Probably more
I think
likely.
that makes the most sense.
I would go for this support unit.
I mean, we can try and do both. I mean, we can only capture one in this case because we have only one subdue. But I think the support's a bit too much of a tall order. But what we can do,
Oh, can you shoot with guns? Guns.
I'm gonna capture him first. So now they are subdued.
Yeah.
They are stunned effectively. They cannot fight until the caster is dealt with, or the effect is dispelled somehow. Then we are gonna make sure they cannot come in to save their friend, and we're gonna shoot them with mage lock.
Have we got any source of marked?
No. They're unfortunately very defensive right
You might as well put some miasma on the hero. You're going to be hitting him a lot anyway.
Yeah, might as well. Put some afflicting miasma on.
Okay, cool. So for those who've forgotten, okay, so it's weakened them, so that's removed the strength that they have, and then while we're here, every single time we damage them, they are going to get some kind of negative state of the face. And for only using physical damage, then they're just going to bleed a lot.
I think, don't we have some fire somewhere?
You got fire from the support.
the
But
supports.
he's dead.
Alright.
Do it.
These ones are gonna rush into that one.
You want
melee.
repeating attack, yeah.
Actually, let's just... Can we get the defense mode somehow?
Oh, you sprint.
But then they still retaliate, don't they?
It doesn't matter. Just you sprint. Okay, now you'll attack 3 times.
Big
Okay.
brain. Okay, let's just get mauled.
Uh-oh.
They have a big hammer.
Problem.
Oh!
We got owned. He has a displacement retaliation.
See, this is why I don't do these with you, Tom. You give bad advice.
Was I supposed to know
You give bad advice.
You did say that you did that.
Alright, we're gonna just shoot him.
Can I shoot an empty space to reach 4 units? Yes, you can.
You can, in fact.
Yeah.
I actually tried to do that earlier.
You have to hold down Alt, right?
Yeah, you hold Alt for that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Tom, are you working for the enemy? I am, actually. I'm here for. I'm working for you guys. I just want you guys to be entertained. If that involves Thomas losing terribly, then that's what we're going to do. I don't think Thomas is going to lose terribly. I don't think
not in this
guy-
battle, at least.
Yeah.
So we've immobilized him in the miasma, and he's marked. So in this case, we're basically just sacrificing these boys. They're not going to be happy.
No, because they're a shock unit. They're a pike.
Oh, that's
Pike.
true.
So his shock attack will do less damage because they're a pike.
Put them in defense instead of hitting, because we want them to live.
I mean, they might survive.
Yeah, if these archers don't have anything to say about it.
We have worked on the tactical AI, by the way. You can't tell because this is a siege map. I should gotta stop looking in that direction. You can't tell because this is a siege map and everyone runs up. But we've worked on the algorithm that they use when they approach, so they no longer form like a very nice condensed ball, which you can like neatly drop round AOE's in. They spread out a bit more now, which is good.
Can we reach the darn archer? No. Okay, well, in that case, we have a better plan.
Shoot for the wall.
LOL.
Okay, great.
That's, you know what? Can we not?
Stop it.
I keep hitting the wrong button.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do it.
So this is the ground targeting. We're going to target the ground here so that it rolls through the wall and bowls over the archers. There we go. Outstanding.
So if you have war spoils, you can actually spend 150 war spoils to get that as a unit. So they have an extra tier 3 unit. Most cultures only have one.
Do this.
Just hit him, right?
Would prefer my units not dying if we can avoid it.
But like, I mean, gonna hit you.
We're going to need to mark him a lot. We need a lot of mark because then we want these guys to hit, and they're going to have to shoot through these.
Can he apply marked? Can the Harrier apply marked?
With the net, which we already used.
Is it not? Is it still on cooldown?
We unfortunately do not have a better source right now. Because the hero's on cooldown.
Fascinate.
I don't think that works on heroes, does it?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just going to do more damage. That's what I mean.
Oh, it's actually, is there more damage to hero units? I thought this was the instant kill effect.
It's not. Well, no, it's not. It does extra flanking damage, and so it's just going to do more damage.
Do we attempt the friendly fire?
Yeah, you might as well.
Rip our brave mercenaries if they miss.
Grace.
Grace, that's okay.
He's resisting the miasma. He's bleeding like crazy. How many stacks does he have?
Like 2? 2.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, he's a hero, so he says stasis effect resistance.
I mean, we can sacrifice these boys and just hit him.
I think we should. I don't know.
I mean, he has a lot of bleed now.
Can you just keep hitting him? Well, yeah, bleed triggers at the end of the turn. You might as well hit him with the Harriers. I mean, if we need to kill him.
Meanwhile, by the way, these poor mercenaries are going to get hit for like the truckload of 20 blight damage.
Yeah, they're dead. Who cares? Let's go. Oh no! If you have a ton, yeah, you can kill him. Next turn you can tonic to get rid of it. Oh no, we can't. It's too late. The tonic.
Sooner or later, you're going to be dead already.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the end of this turn.
Unless
Sorry.
let's just throw a suppressing barrage on them as well, just for spiciness.
Well, are there, somebody's asking. There are new unlockables in the Pantheon.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Yes.
Quite a few actually.
Yeah. We put a bunch of
Might be able to show
a
it
bit
off.
of a dirty word. Skins, weapon skins. So you can make all of the base weapons that you want, but in the Pantheon there's just like new versions. So you can make like a hammer which is gold instead of a normal looking hammer. It's the same hammer, but it looks nicer.
Really hope it doesn't show up on the stream.
What?
I keep opening the Windows tab. I keep misclicking.
Oh no, it's showing up on the stream. Everything is showing up on the screen. Oh, actually no, it depends which windows you're opening, I suppose. Okay,
We don't ever know. Probably both actually.
You've added cosmetics. Yeah, but like you don't
Basically,
pay
yes.
for them.
So
the Pantheon unlocks, by the way, are part of the free patch. You don't have to pay for them.
Yeah, so the item forge is part of the free patch in general. The Pantheon update is part of that as well. Basically, what it came down to is that we had way too many things in the UI by default. So when someone opened up the item forge, they were like, "Oh God, what is all this?"
Cool. Oh, check it out. We got some more
Behold,
spoils,
these
and
captures.
we got a warrior. So war spoils you get from killing things, but specifically, it has to be things that belong to a free city or an empire. This means that if you decide to play peaceful, technically that's possible, but because you're not earning war spoils, you are not making proper use of the class, basically. So
I mean, you can do it. You can be more selective with them. It's just you definitely get most advantage out of this by being very aggressive.
well, if you don't get war spoils, then you can't use them. Anyway, so we're going to spend our war spoils on recruiting this warrior, which is the guy we got in the combat. And obviously, if you'd mind control someone with like an imp or whatever, it would appear there, and you could spend mana on doing it. I think the cost is roughly 50% more mana than it would cost to summon a unit of that tier. So if, hypothetically, it costs 80 mana to summon a tier 2 unit, subduing one with magic might cost like 100, 120 mana, something like that.
Exactly. We're gonna.
It's fake.
Do we vassalize them? No. Yeah, we're gonna make them big birds. Let's make them big birds. Some resource out of that too. Actually, quite important. We should probably go over the war spoils properly before I forget. We are Reavers. We have war spoils. War spoils are pretty cool. They are used to intimidate free cities or other empires, and as well as converting subdued units after combat.
Yeah, well, we've
Over
seen
that a little
most
bit.
of this already, so
Yes, but the important detail is you need to fight empires, you
I
need to
just
fight
said
free
that.
cities. Yes. I'm just trying to do the whole thing so I don't forget.
no,
It's
that's
important.
okay.
There are a lot of ways to use it, which include the intimidation of the free cities, which we haven't done yet, because we need to find another free city for that, one that we didn't conquer. You can use it to trade with them. So instead of actually paying them for the trade, you tell them, we'll not kill you. Here you go. Here's our show of force. We'll take your resources. And you can tell other empires that they shouldn't mess with you, which it costs a upkeep of war spoils. And when it runs out, it just goes poof away. And
Can we quickly have a look at that? We have 3 minutes, but we can quickly have a look at that.
Well, what are you looking at?
On her.
Oh, on her, of course. Declaration of Supremacy. Behold. So, we're not going to do this because we do not have the resource to maintain this. But effectively what this does, this only works on AI empires. It doesn't work on players. Obviously in multiplayer, they don't really care. They will not care about you. But for AI rulers, you can use this to basically intimidate them into not going to war with you for a while. So like, as long as you maintain this, they will keep their distance from you and accept that, okay, maybe you are a bit more dangerous than I am. I'll not mess with you for now.
Another thing is that you can also spend it. You can literally spend it to instantly bump up a free cities level. So you can give, I think it cost 85 on that city that you just obliterated. It was going to cost 85 to...
Yeah, we can't see it right now because there's no other free cities in sight.
It was 85, I remember looking. So, and that would have just taken us straight from, I don't know, to friendly or whatever.
It basically it raises you up one level and then locks you in place for 5 turns.
Yes,
Or
because otherwise, typically people don't like it when you do that. But yeah, it can't drop. Okay, cool. So we've only got like a couple of minutes left. I hope that could be okay.
Sorry.
So I was just seeing if there's no real questions for us to answer. Yeah, so this is going to be out in November the 7th. We have, let me think about this for a second. And we'll be doing another stream in 2 weeks on the 31st, actually, there's the 1st of November. And possibly even continuing. We might actually keep doing this stream every couple of weeks all the way up to Christmas, if the fates allow us and if like people want to see it. So thanks for watching.
No, wait just 1 second.
Oh, wait, sorry. Thomas wants to show one thing.
Just because we can.
What we're doing?
Behold.
All right, the Pantheon tree.
Behold the Pantheon tree. So we've added some new stuff here, which I will not zoom in on because I'm evil and I don't want to spoil it. There's some new stuff here, which is regular Pantheon stuff. So new icons, new hero origin, society trait or 2.
2 weeks,
that
sorry,
sort of
not
stuff.
3 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. And on the right here, we have a separate tree for it, just to make sure that it's clearly separate. This stuff is the item forge visualizations. So this is stuff like just custom icons, or just weapons. Some of the more rare ones. Basically, what we ended up with when we made the item forge was we found out like, holy hell, we have a lot of icons, a lot of things, and the UI was just enormous. So what we did instead is we used some new ones, some of the more fancy ones, we put them in here, so that you can get them still, but we don't have them by default, so you don't, the first time you open up the item forge, it's not 5 pages of scrolling. Yeah. But we wanted to put all of them in there, so we have all of them in there. In fact, one of my favorites, this one is beautiful. You can get the little pokey stick.
Always useful.
yeah, I hope that this will all be considered quite fun, and I hope people get to use that a lot.
Cool.
Just wanted to teach that real quick.
It's fine. Good.
Yeah, and that hopefully we can.
See you in a couple of weeks, hopefully. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yes, they are cosmetic exactors. I don't know if I'm still online.
Hello!
Christ. Oh, that.
No, give me this. Give me
There's
this.
no way that sounded.
There's one thing that Alex tells me before we go on stream, and it is that microphone is very loud. And I had to. I would feel sorry, but I don't.
No, you. I was gonna say no, you don't. I worked with you for a while.
That's why I said would.
But anyway, okay. Madeline's apparently microphone jockey now.
I am.
It's just not mine anymore.
You
so,
can hold it if you want to.
Okay, no, it's my microphone. Shit, shit. It's my microphone. So anyway, folks, we're gonna stick around for a while because we have lots more streaming coming up. Age of Wonders 4 was just the start of our day. We have tons more. Madeline's here because she's community manager for City Skylines 2, and we're going to be streaming some of City Skylines 2.
Yeah.
Look, like how I pointed the microphone at you just for here. Maybe we do like this.
Did you want me
Just
to say
get in
something
line.
more concrete?
Yeah, maybe.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Henke is here again.
It's from last week.
From last week, and I also built a lot over the weekend, so
Oh,
hopefully
did you?
enjoy the big city that it is now existing.
Okay, cool. Did you actually get to big city level?
Yeah.
Because you failed last week.
No, I got there again.
Okay. So we do have to go to a quick standby screen because we were just over in the Netherlands talking to Triumph Studios there. Now we have to go over to Finland and get Henke in here. So we just got to do a little bit of technological rejiggering at the PCs, aka start up a different Discord call.
Yep.
and get him remote desktop into our gameplay PC. That'll just take a few minutes, so don't go away. We'll be back, and then after City Skylines 2, we're gonna have game director, Mikhail and Pelly, community manager for Victoria 3, are gonna be in. They're playing the new 1.5 patch, and then after that, we have people calling in from Tinto, because we're gonna be talking about a little bit of King of Kings from EU4, along with Bjorn. He's gonna be in here, probably eating candy.
I am exhausted already.
Yeah, we got 5 hours of streaming. Woo!
Let's fucking go!
Okay, hit it, Nurgle!